friends, welcome back to my channel. Sassy. I'm here to do another review of Big Sky. Y'all, I am loving this show. Another great episode. Y'all, I am digging it. I am digging this show, okay? And I think that it has a lot to do with the acting. The guy who plays Ronald and that mother and the creepy trooper. Come on now. They are killing this role, okay? I loved it. I just love it. So, let's talk about the ladies for a minute. Let's get them out the way. As we know, Cassie and Jenny, y'all, I got her name right, child. They are on the trail, honey. They are trying to find Cody and these girls, and they know that that trooper is somehow involved. I mean, he's creepy as crap. So, they are trying everything they can to, see what they can find out. Get to the bottom of why is he acting like this? Why is he withholding information? Something isn't right. So, Jeannie, she's talking to the sheriff, and she was like, listen, just talk to him. Okay? Can you talk to him? Can you at least do that? And so, of course, the sheriff, he's like, who? The trooper? He cool. He got no type of complaints. And, of course, he's the perfect, trooper. She was like, look, can you do it for me? Can you give me a solid? Can you talk to him for me? So, of course, the sheriff, he gives in, and he's like, of course, I will talk to you. I will talk to him, for you. So, we have Cassie. Cassie's dealing with her own thing, okay? And she is talking to her dad. Y'all, why is her dad looking like he could be her older brother? I'm like, Daddy kind of cute. How old is Daddy supposed to be? Daddy look young, child. I was like, ooh, Lord, black. Don't crack, honey. So anyway, Cassie has her own, issues to deal with. She's dealing with the death of her mother. She's dealing with the death of her ex-husband. And now Cody is missing. And the dad's like, listen, you're not handling this too well. Okay, you're keeping this stuff in. And maybe that's why you went into the arms of Cody. Okay, you are not handling this properly. All right, of course, Cassie, she's crying and she's asking how he handled it. And so, that was a cute enough scene. So we have Cassie and Jenny, they back at the office and they tried everything, okay? So they're like, listen, we got to go to this truck stop, okay? We have to go to this truck stop and see what we can find out. Because, see, one of the truckers, because they've been running truckers, and one of the truckers has a terrible criminal history. I think it was like, predatorial type of stuff. So they were like, listen, it may not be him, but hey, this is all we got. This is the only lead we have. So they were going to go all Charlie's Angels, child, and Jeannie was going to become a hooker. She was like, listen, I'm not even wearing. I have done undercover before. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. See, they had put a tracker on the trooper's vehicle, so they tracking him. So now it's time to, get in with these truckers. Of course, here's that secretary, y'all. Y'all, there's something about that secretary. I don't care if that trooper was married to her cousin. Something about that secretary. The way she's always looking. She always looking kind of suspicious. Something about her, y'all. She's asking all these questions. I mean, she's acting like she's worried about their well-being. But something else. There is something about her I don't like. I don't like her. So anyway, Jenny, she's dressed up as a prostitute. They go to the truck stop. And honey, she found a man, honey. She found him. He is the same guy that was in that TV series Justified. If you have not watched Justified, that's one you need to watch. Very good series. It came on FX. So she gets in there, and it was so funny. That trucker was like, listen here, I'm a germaphobe. Now, I like to, crack the backs I want to be clean while doing it. Honey, he done pulled out the hand sanitizer, the wipes, the mouthwash. He was like, take it to the back. Take it to the back, honey. He was like, take that wipe and go downtown. I was like, Lord, what is going on? So Jenny was like, listen, I ain't got time to be doing all this sanitizing. Look, I'm a cop. Okay, you're busted. Don't make me bring you in. And he was like, huh? Don't make me bring you in. Listen, okay, there's some girls missing. I just need some DNA. So she's getting a pillow. She's getting a toothbrush. And he was like, let me see that badge again. She said, you don't need to see that badge. She's grabbing all kinds of stuff. He said, you ain't no cop. Who are you? You ain't no cop. So here's Jenny going out of the truck. Honey, she had a whole pillow. She didn't just get the pillowcase, child. She got the whole pillow and the toothbrush, and she's getting out of there. So he stops her. He got a knife, and he was like, I will mess you up. We are going to finish what we started. Jenny said, I got time. Jenny did a little knee in the ball sack, and then she did a little pop, pop, pop. And honey, that man fell to the ground. Okay. So he's on the ground. He done pulled out a gun. Here comes Cassie. Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! So he was like, okay. So, we have those two. They do what they supposed to do. We'll get to them in a minute. All right? Now, let's talk about the girls, child. The girls. Honey, they are still in the back of that truck. And mind you, Grace is feeling some pain. She done broke out into an infection. She's sweating profusely. She's pale. Because as y'all know, she got shot twice in the thighs with arrows. So it's done got infected. So we have MacGyver Grace. Honey, she done did some little YouTube and child back, whenever. And she figured out that maggots will eat the infection, okay? Because she ain't looking too good. So they had a can of ham. And honey, maggots is all in it. Disgusting. So they put the maggots on the wound. Honey, it ain't doing nothing, child. It ain't doing nothing. That infection is deep. We have Ronald going to check in on him. And honey, Danielle said, listen, my sister died. You need to do something about this. You need to take her to the hospital. She need a doctor. She gonna die. And so he was like, get back, I got the taser. I was like, child, if y'all don't get that taser away from him, you better. So he goes over there with his little first aid kit, child, and pours hydrogen peroxide on it. Ooh, I know that burn. Oh, Lord. So he was like, she'll be all right. He said, this is disgusting. So he tells the trooper, he said, look, she ain't doing too good. She's not doing too good. You need to handle that. So the trooper, he goes down there and he pumps her full of, antibiotics. So, maybe that will help a little bit. But honey, Grace is in for it. Grace is a fighter, child. Did y'all hear Grace? Grace still calling the trooper a prick. Honey, she's full of infection and she's still talking trash. You better do it, Grace. Now, let's talk about the dynamic between Ronald and this trooper. Now, as we know, the trooper, honey, he is on his last leg, honey. He's about to explode. He's about to snap. He's losing it. He is losing it because now these wholesome girls are on the news. These wholesome girls' parents are making a plea. See, the lot lizards, wasn't nobody thinking about them. But see, Grace and Danielle actually has a family that love them and want to know what's going on. Plus, he got Jenny and Cassie on his butt. So he's about to lose it. So we have Ronald eating his cereal, child. I'm going to say he eating Cocoa Puffs because he kooky for it. He's eating his cereal looking at the news. Who's in the cut peeking in through the doorway? Honey, his crazy no good mama, honey. His mama's coming in there running that mouth, okay? Talking that trash. And Ronald said, listen, you don't bother me while I'm eating my Cocoa Puffs. I like to eat my cereal in peace, you crazy old bat. So she's still running her mouth. And honey, he took that bowl of cereal and poured it over her head. Honey, she laughed. And what about when she grabbed the tissue? I said, you got a box of tissues on the kitchen table? I was expecting a napkin. I was like, who has a box of tissue? Honey, she's wiping away the Cocoa Puffs and she said, boy, I ain't got time for you. Something ain't right with you. You've been having these urges. Now what's going on? And honey, she just flat out asked. And she says, do you know anything about those missing girls? Now see, prior to that, this idiot took a phone call from the trooper. He having a whole conversation about those missing girls with his mama right around his back. And she was like this. Speak up a little bit. I got some milk in my ears. What you say? So the trooper said, listen, we got to get rid of these girls. I have someone who can take them off our heads. They're not going to buy them. Okay? They're not going to pay us, but they will take care of the problem. You don't understand. My nerves are shot, child. I can't have this. And see, the trooper got that scratch on his face too, child. So anyway, Ronald gets off the phone and he was like, all right, we'll deal with it. So here comes that mama. I already asked him about, does he know about these missing girls? Ronald says, how dare you? How dare you ask me that? Honey, that mama said, listen, I will do what I will have to do when it comes to those girls. And honey, Ronald said, let me tell you something, you old crazy bat. Don't push me. Because see, I will do what I have to do to protect whatever I protect. Honey, Ronald flat out threatened his mom. I will hurt you if you keep on running that mouth, you nosy bitty. So we have Ronald back at that little shack, okay, the bar. What's that bar called, y'all? All in. And so Ronald and the trooper's talking. And so the trooper is like, listen, honey, everybody is down my neck, down my back. All right, I got to go speak to the sheriff. And so Ronald said, well, what's up with that? And so the trooper said, don't worry about it. He's probably just going to talk about meth. It's all good. It's all good. And so Ronald said, you think it's not a good thing to talk to the sheriff? And so the trooper is like, you're right. Ain't nothing good about that. Okay, everybody's just questioning me. I'm sick of it. And so Ronald said, yeah. Even my mom's questioning me. And so the trooper said, about what? He said all about the girls being missing. She flat out asked me, did I know anything about it? And so the trooper said, excuse me, Ronald, what you talking about, Willis? She asked you that? And so Ronald said, don't worry about it. Okay? She asked me about anything. If a poke get missing, she gonna ask me about it. So the trooper, honey, he's done. He's tired of Ronald, because you know Ronald done messed up here, there, and everywhere. Okay? He's been cleaning up after Ronald since the start of this show. And so he said, Ronald, he said, you getting on my nerves. He said, you are getting on my nerves. You are becoming a loose end. Ronald said, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? And so they start having words, and honey, Ronald done spit some venom, and so the trooper, he put his hand on his gun. Ronald said, boy, you don't know me, do you? Don't you know I'm crazy? I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Don't you see this left eye twitching? Don't play with me. See, you and my mom underestimate how crazy I am. See, I'm crazy. And see, I have an insurance policy. You mess with me, if something happens to me, all roads lead to you. I ain't no dummy. Okay, I got backup. And so the trooper said, oh really? So you got backup? Well, just remember this, Ronald. I'm a trooper. I got backup too. I ain't crazy. I ain't dumb. Okay? Don't try me. So they're going back and forth threatening each other. A whole mess. So we have the trooper over there talking to the sheriff, and child, the sheriff was just asking about Cody and the missing girls. And so the trooper said, listen, Cody, he was talking about that church. Okay? That's what he was talking about, and I didn't have time to be hearing it. So then the trooper, because he's nuts, he starts talking about the state of the world. how police officers are disrespected, how people burn the flag, how people don't have no respect for the badge, how people are spitting in a cop's face, and how America has just went down a cesspool, and how Blue Lives Matter, and child, honey, he done threw race involved. He talked about Cassie. It was just a mess. Meanwhile, the sheriff is looking at him like he got two heads. He said, excuse me, you're off track. Or maybe you shifted a little bit. Because we wasn't even talking about that. We were talking about Cody and the missing girls, and here you are talking about something about Ronald Reagan said about America on top of a hill. What's wrong with you? And so, here comes the trooper talking about what's wrong with you. And so, the guy's like, listen, you're out of line. Okay, and that sheriff, he's not white himself. What is he, y'all? Is he Native American? He ethnic? And here the trooper is just talking all kinds of racist stuff. Crazy. So on his way out, here is Cassie and Jenny, and that's when they put that tracker on the trooper's SUV. So, of course, the trooper, he's talking, down to Cassie, and here Jenny talking about, oh, hi. I'm Cody's wife. And he was like, oh, yeah, I wish we could have met under better circumstances. And he asked, have you seen them? And she said, have you seen them? Blah, blah, blah. So he walks off and he was like, my. Absolutely nuts. Now, while he's doing all that, we have Ronald. See, Ronald got him a side plan, okay? So he goes into quilts and things, child. Who's inside working at quilts and things, honey? The trooper's wife, child. Ronald knows what he's doing. So he finds a beautiful little quilt. I said, oh, that's nice, child. You see them on Etsy all the time, honey. They are beautiful little quilts. So he's spitting game. Ronald is in there doing all types of flirting, wasn't he? Saying that she's beautiful, saying that a woman like her need to be, paid attention to. And honey, at first she was like, excuse me, I thought you was just here to buy a quilt. You ain't gonna get no other discount, honey, the COVID discount. And this is my thing. Here they talking about COVID. You don't never see nobody with no mask on. What COVID you living in, Big Sky? So anyway, Ronald's spitting game. Ronald is being charming and a little manipulative and creepy. But again, the sheriff's wife, she's lonely. Okay? The sheriff ain't paying any attention to her. She had her back broken a long time, child. Okay? So she's getting the attention that she wants. I mean, it's from a crazy, mama's boy psycho. But hey, she's getting the attention. And then Ronald come talking about a little dancing. Let's do a little two-step at the old folks' home. So the woman, she's liking it. She's liking everything about it. Okay? So Ronald, as he walks off, child, he was like, check. You see that smile on his face? Ooh, Lord, honey, he's the devil himself. So later on, we see the sheriff's wife at the little old folks dancing hall, child. He dancing with somebody who 85 years old, honey, doing the two-step, child, and then some woman is spiking the punch. Baby! So the sheriff's wife is like, this is not for me. So she leaves. Ronald goes after her. He's like, why are you leaving? Okay. You just got here. And she was like, this isn't for me. He was like, well, something told you to come here. You're here. We might as well have a little bit of dance. I know you're lonely. I'm lonely. We might as well be lonely together. I said, listen to Ronald. Spin that game. Listen to him, honey. So here they are inside dancing. Boy, Ronald's a slick one, ain't he? So she comes home, okay? Here is, the trooper on the phone with Ronald. He was like, where you been? Ronald said, listen, I got another job. I'm trying to hem your wife up. So the trooper said, listen, it's an all-go tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Have them them girls cleaned up, okay? We got to get out of here. We got to get these girls out of here, honey. My nerves are tore up. So here she comes, and he's looking at her. He was like, where have you been? She said, out. He said, woman, it's about midnight. She said, what's wrong with you? She said, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I went dancing. Hey, I'm a dancing machine. And he was like, who'd you go dancing with? She said, a customer at the store. She said, I'm not cheating. I had a good old time, and I went dancing. Now I'm going to bed. Bye. Honey, he's sitting there looking like Ned in the Funny Papers, child. Honey, he had to lift his mouth up from the ground, honey. His face was cracked. Okay. So, we have Cassie and we have Jenny. All right, the tracker's going off, so they're following the tracker. Now, the sheriff done laid them out. The sheriff was like, y'all up there thinking y'all Charlie's Angels. You done beat up this man. Did nobody tell you to do all that? And so they're like, listen, we are working a lead. We do what we have to do. And so the sheriff said, okay, this is what I have to do. No more favors. Now, see, I should throw your butt in jail, but I ain't. Now, get out. Take your feet to the street. Our little relationship is over. So they was like, oh, Lord, here comes the secretary, child. What happened? What went on? Who was he the one? And so they were like, we don't know. We gotta wait until the, DNA comes back, and they probably won't even run it because I done kicked him in his nuts. So they went and they went to where the tracker picked up, and they went to the place. They went to the place, and child Cassie fumbling all around. She breaking jaws, making all kinds of noise. And so Grace, the MacGyver, she was like, huh? She was like, did y'all hear that? Of course, they were like, what? What are you talking about? She was like, shut up. Do you hear the noise? That's not a regular noise. I was like, girl, honey, Grace. So they're saying, someone's here. Someone is here. And so they are screaming. They are yelling. They are banging. They are trying their best to get Cassie and Jenny's attention. Cassie for a second says, I think I hear something. So she paused a little bit. Jenny was like, listen, we got to get out of here. The trooper is probably on his way back. We have to go. So they leave. And the girls are still screaming and yelling. So anyway, child, next week is already the winter finale. Already? This is only going to be 5 episodes. Well, child, whatever. Absolutely loved this series, okay? What did y'all think about the episode? Let me know down below. And don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, friends. Bye!